And in this game, players are each playing as different adventures, each with their own special ability, but you're going to be managing your health and your provisions along with your magic and a few other stats in order to complete your quest, which is going to be made up of a few different objectives. You're going to have to find quest-specific artifacts and then also raise your influence with specific factions, with each of those factions having different specialties and interests, and then you'll have to complete your main quest action and then return to your home village. Players are going to be accomplishing this over a series of rounds, with each round representing an entire year broken into the 4 phases, which each represent an individual season. The round starts in spring, where players are going to be planning out their actions, taking turns putting their action tokens out on this action tracker in order to reserve it for the following phase. The interesting thing here is that there is a particular sequence to how these actions resolve, so depending on where you put your token is going to determine when you get to perform that action. But there's a bunch of different actions, with many of them being related to resource generation or resource conversion, because you can perform an action just to earn gold, or instead you could perform an action to convert that gold into provisions, which are essentially used as action points in order to help you move around the board. But you can also perform an action to restore your health, but then there's also another action to spend health in order to generate magic. The thing I really like about all this resource generation and resource conversion is that there's also an action to upgrade any of these in order to help you either generate more of a resource or convert more of a resource for one action. Players can also perform actions to pay provisions or health to move around on the board, gain additional quest cards, or gain influence at their location. Of course, there is also an action to engage in combat, and combat is resolved with dice rolling. But after all the players have performed their actions, you're going to be moving into the fall phase, where players are allowed to trade amongst each other and offer different items up for bid. The winter phase is where the round cleanup happens, where you're going to be preparing the board for the following round, and then you're also going to be drawing an event card that can have all sorts of effects on the state of the game, or introduce some new rules or restrictions that the players will have to deal with. The rounds continue like this as players build up their resource generation engine in order to try and complete their quests first, and the first player to do that wins the game. And if you are interested in this one, you can find more in the description below.